General Friedrich von Steinbach observed the map on the headquarters wall with a contemptuous smile. His subordinates around the table shared the same expression of arrogant confidence. American forces were advancing through French territory, but to him they were just inexperienced boys playing at war. "These Americans," von Steinbach laughed loudly, pounding his fist on the table, "think they can defeat us with their Coca-Cola cans and jazz? The 148th Division is made up of veterans from the Eastern Front. We ate Russians for breakfast." The other officers burst into laughter, toasting with stolen French cognac. Lieutenant Klaus Weber, intelligence officer, tried to present new reports about American military capability. "My general, the numbers show that—" Von Steinbach interrupted him with a sharp gesture. "Numbers? I have soldiers who survived Stalingrad. That's all I need to know." The 148th Division had been positioned in a strategic region near Aachen. Von Steinbach was absolutely certain that his lines were impenetrable. He ordered half of the ammunition sent to other fronts, convinced they wouldn't need it against the American amateurs. On October 15, 1944, American forces initiated their offensive. The distant sound of artillery echoed through the valleys. At German headquarters, von Steinbach didn't even rise from his chair. "Let them waste ammunition," he said indifferently, lighting a cigar. The first German defense lines were broken in less than 6 hours. The coordination between American infantry, tanks, and aviation was something the 148th Division wasn't prepared to face. Reports arrived increasingly desperate at command, but von Steinbach still refused to believe. "My general," the messenger trembled as he delivered the report, "we've lost 3 strategic positions. The Americans have Sherman tanks supported by—" Von Steinbach threw the report on the floor. "Impossible. These must be exaggerations from frightened soldiers." But his face was beginning to lose color. Within 72 hours, the 148th Division was completely surrounded. Supply routes had been cut. The ammunition von Steinbach had sent to other fronts was now devastatingly missed. His men rationed every bullet, every grenade. Von Steinbach locked himself in his office, refusing to accept the situation. He sent impossible orders to be fulfilled. Hold the positions at all costs. But outside, his soldiers faced tanks with rifles and exhausted courage. The general's pride was costing lives. An American jeep advanced with a white flag. Major Thompson delivered a letter. Honorable surrender or total annihilation. Von Steinbach tore the paper in front of the messenger. "Tell your superiors that the 148th Division never surrenders." The major left shaking his head, knowing what was coming. American artillery fell like steel rain. Bunkers that had withstood the Russians crumbled. German soldiers who survived Stalingrad wept in the rubble. Lieutenant Weber found von Steinbach kneeling among the debris, finally silenced by the brutal reality of modern warfare. The officers of the 148th Division themselves confronted von Steinbach. Colonel Miller, a veteran of 30 years of service, drew his pistol and placed it on the table. "Either you surrender, or we arrest you and surrender ourselves. I won't let more men die for your stupid pride." On October 22nd, white flags appeared throughout the 148th Division's position. Von Steinbach, his uniform in tatters and his face marked by defeat, signed the surrender documents. His hands trembled. 3,000 German soldiers emerged from the rubble, exhausted but alive. American General Patton observed von Steinbach being escorted. There was no triumphalism in his face, only the weariness of someone who knows the true cost of war. "General von Steinbach," he said in perfect German, "arrogance has always been any army's best ally. Thank you for being ours." The surrender of the 148th Division became a case study in military academies, a perfect example of how arrogance and prejudice can destroy even the most experienced forces. Von Steinbach spent the rest of the war in a prisoner camp, having plenty of time to reflect on how underestimating the enemy cost not just a battle, but the honor of an entire division.